Well, hello everyone, Dylan of Days here, with another mock video for Mock Tuesday, and this one's on another batch of mocks I did, but this one's on one's from the Discovery Channel film Alien Planet, which, if you're not sure, is a documentary just mentioning how life could evolve elsewhere in the universe, but also related to the book Expedition, in which do have an additional video of it, like down in the description. So, and here's what's the back, which are the main probes, Leo and Ike, and one creature, the Arrowtounge. And here's a little sneak peek of ones that I'm going to do in upcoming 2 other videos, being the dagger wrist, the prong head, Eosapien, and the bladder horn, of course. So now, on the starting of this one. So starting out with probe Leo, in which for both these probes, Ike and Leo, which are short for both Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton. And as for these, but also one missing one named Balboa, which, if you see in the program, destroys in the crack. Gets destroyed on impact to Darwin, or Dark Quartz, that is. First, for the little head part, or bird-like head, which is crowned with a lot of sensors, then, which I see quite basic for how it is, like simple black studs representing the eyes, and then of course claw piece for the lower part of it, of course. But then as for the main body kind of area, which in the program mentions that they which kind of float and kind of hover, since there's a hydrogen bag in them. And also, as for the 2 rounded plates on him, it's supposed to be like little scout drones that just fling off and fly right around it, of course. And then underneath of which, a few extra parts, and also a hanging bracket with a spider piece there. And why the spider piece here? Mainly to represent another little scout. It's kind of one that's made to go into small places that are too tight or too dangerous for Ike and Leo to be in. And also one little bit of snot is this bracket with these few slopes. And of course, in the program, displays a hologram with a little message about the universe and the human species and all. But then, as for these 2 other little assemblies, which are just around to hold these little extra limbs here, which in the program made from simulated plastic muscle that holds with its little hands there, gentle enough to pluck the petal off an alien daisy. And then far back of which, sort of the same thing, but they're on mixel ball joints, and which that push them along at around 30 miles an hour. And also that these arm bits can extend and retract in for that. But however, for my mock here, I wasn't able to figure out how to do so. And then onto the back side of it is do have a little inverted slope on there, or a couple of that, and then also on top is this little antenna to connect to the orbiting probes above for that. And then the back part, which has the couple of tail wings that there are. And that is about it with Leo. And now to the near identical twin brother of Leo, Ike. Well, not much to say there about him. Well, a lot of the same stuff, or kind of the same pieces, but in yellow instead of blue. For that. And of course, but instead I have the regular tiles instead of plates on there. Since I always realized that, since Of course, these which, since I couldn't find any that in yellow off Bricklink, I just had to work with these then. But of course, they work very much the same then. And also to note that the missing probe of Balboa is one that was in red, or destroyed one, and of which was in red for that. And now lastly is the first creature that they encounter, the Arrowtounge, which in the program says an apex predator the size of a T-Rex for that. But instead of a roar, communicates with sonar. Well, of which most of the creatures of Darwin 4 tend to have. Now, as for the roundup, like I always do, and you wonder why on this one large plate and these two Technic tiles there. Mainly because since the Arrowtounge's feet are kind of like this, I wasn't sure how to get it to stand like that. So this is all I could ever work with. But also this red plate kind of represents the surfacing of Darwin 4. But as for the main legs of which, kind of regular how they are. Like, also do have sort of like, also have these kind of bits on them with the, or these type of bricks with the ball joint piece in them for the socket joint brick to connect in, which we also saw on the Marvel and Batman construction figures that there were. And of course this, which you'll see in a lot of my other mocks I've used as well. And then the upper leg, kind of basic for that. And then for the upper body, or main body part, was all resting on a large plate, and also kind of like made with slopes and plates around it, and a few jumpers with these like tooth plates to represent its little spiky protrusions or spiky bits to it. And then also, and why some of these slopes are in pink, mainly to represent the like bioluminescent spots on them, which most animals of Darwin 4 tend to have. And then as for the arms here, which are just on basic mixel ball socket joints, and then on regular plates and kind of fin-like. And obviously, if you know much of the Arrowtounge, the arms kind of go right backwards like that. And then as for the tail, and as you see, kind of similar to what we have with most tails, usually on like animals and dinosaurs in the creator sets, and also what I also use on some other mocks as well. Like, as you see, it does kind of comprised of, at first, ball socket joints, and then also a few mixel joints outwards, and have this little smaller tail on underneath for that. Mainly because since the Arrowtounge tends to have that. If you know much of the Arrowtounge, it tends to have that. So luckily I did add that into it with a little slope and a extra plate underneath. And now lastly, the head. And of course also on a larger ball socket joint, and then kind of just a lot of curved slopes since the head's kind of like that. And then you wonder these little black bits, or the black studs on here, which you may think are the eyes, but actually sort of it's like other sonar bits, since most animals of Darwin 4 don't seem to have much of eyes. Then the top red part of which is supposed to be like its little mouth-like area, and this little spear piece is supposed to be its flickery tongue. Well, since like most animals of Darwin 4, which don't much tend to have actual mouths and jaws, just kind of like odd assemblies, and this is supposed to be like a straw-like appendage. And so now, on on to the final verdict. Overall, I think I did get their likeness downright well. Yeah, it did capture their likenesses down quite well, even though I might slightly upgrade Arrowtounge in the future, but like with a couple extra bits to that, but that's just me. But although for the probes of which also did quite well with their additional features and likenesses, but also do deploy small little weather balloons to monitor Darwin's atmosphere, of course. And that is about it for that. And so now, that's about it with this video, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.